The fix is in and Trump might be going to jail. Breaking, Stalinist Judge Merchan directs jury to choose among these three crimes to convict Trump. Jurors don't have to unanimously agree. Trump even said not even Mother Teresa could beat these charges. We're talking about this and so much more here on the Gateway Pundits Weekend Review. My name is Elijah Schaefer, and this is the Gateway Pundits Weekend Review, where we cover the top 5 stories in the last 24 hours in about 10 minutes. Let's get into this story from Christina Lila. Here's what it says. President Trump was back in court on Wednesday morning in Alvin Bragg's hush money show trial. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg indicted Trump in April on 34 felony counts. Trump was accused of paying porn star Stormy Daniels, as we know. The jury deliberations began on Wednesday after Judge Merchan instructed them to choose among the three predicate crimes that Trump supposedly committed. Check this out. This is where they're fixing the actual court trial. Judge Merchan is allowing jurors to choose one of the three predicate crimes. Jurors do not have to unanimously agree on which of the three predicate crimes that Trump committed. Of course, this will make it easier to convict Trump since it really doesn't have to be unanimous. It goes on to say, the grotesque trial charade gets even worse this morning as the Stalinist clown judge directed the jury that they can choose. Number 1, violations of federal election law, which no one in that courtroom is familiar with, and the judge specifically prevents Brad Smith from testifying about. It goes on to say down here, the falsification of business records and 3 tax violations. Of course, the issue for all of the above is the requirement of a criminal intent. Furthermore, the idea that jurors can pick one of the 3 and they don't have to unanimously agree on which of the 3 is another shocking development. This actually fixes the election. Trump said it's going to be difficult to even get out of this one. And if they convict him because of the upgrade into felony charges, he could actually see time behind bars. People say it's not possible, but I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions on what you think is going to happen there. Speaking of that, it goes on to say in our next article from the Gateway Pundit that Trump attorney Alina Habba delivers a smackdown to naive Shannon Beam when she tries claiming that Biden regime is not responsible for the sham Trump trial. Cullen Linebarger reports that the Gateway Pundit reported that President Trump returned to court on Wednesday, and we have the clip exactly for you. She actually tried to explain her way out of this. Listen to this absolute insanity. Watch.
Has been in the polls. It has been in fundraising. So is there a net positive to him from this whole thing?
Well, if you want to look at it from a political standpoint, I think then, yeah, that's different. We have Americans, we have people that were Biden supporters. I can't imagine how or why, but they're now waking up and saying, whoa, this is not America. This is very un-American and we can't survive another 4 years of this. So if you want to look at it that way, sure. But I don't think countries need to hit rock bottom. I don't understand why we couldn't have continued on an upward trajectory of American morals, of the Constitution. I'm not sure why we had to hit this low point, to be honest, but if that's what gets President Trump back in office.
But you know, sure. When you talk about things like morals, people will say, this is a case about a former president, somebody who was running for president, paying off a porn star who alleges that she had a relationship with him. I mean, that sparks a whole other conversation about morality, who's running the country. Obviously, voters in 2016, it was not a problem, or they factored in what they knew about the Access Hollywood tape and other things, and they were comfortable sending President Trump to the White House. Yeah. They've had 4 years to think about the way he performed, now 4 years of President Biden. But some of them will always now have this vision with President Trump that these kinds of dramas and things will be just part of his package, part of what comes with him as president.
It's called extortion. Extortion is something that happens with people when they are powerful, when they are strong voiced, and when people listen to them. It is a natural consequence of being a very effective human being in this unfortunate culture that we have. It is litigious. That is what America has become. And Joe Biden, unfortunately, can't really do anything in office. So he's got to use the same means as somebody who's just trying to have a quick slip and fall and make money. And that is frankly what we're seeing right now. This is exactly a Biden show because he's got to distract the American people. Listen,
but the Biden administration is not responsible for this trial.
How can you say the Biden administration is not responsible for this trial?
It's a state trial. It's Alvin Bragg. Whether you think there's a political motive for him, it's not connected to the DOJ. I mean,
Shannon,
the feds passed on these election charges.
Shannon, you should look at how many logs they have of state officials, Letitia James, Fannie Willis, visiting the White House and then tell me that this is not a Biden trial. I don't
Fed's
care.
pass on this case is the point I'm
You're
making.
right. The Fed's pass on this case. Also, DA Cy Vance passed on this case. And
Years
frankly,
ago, and then it came back.
And Brad passed on this case. You know when it came back? When he decided to run for office. So tell me how that's not an indication that Joe Biden, who just sent his campaign down here with Robert De Niro yesterday, isn't a part of this.
Yeah, she roasted her. This is clearly a Biden, designed scheme. The primary reason, I think, is not only to get him in jail or to disqualify him, but primarily so that he can't campaign. Just like Biden couldn't campaign and they had the whole scamdemic and he was in his basement. They don't want Trump out there because the people love Trump. Now, that goes on to say that our next story is that this is a must-see. You are an effing idiot. A Trump-deranged Joy Reid curses at Ben Bergquam outside Manhattan courthouse. It's absolutely hilarious. Check out this video rather than listening to the story. Here's the interaction. I love this guy. He's a good friend and a fantastic individual. Watch.
Joy, just wondering, do you think people with Trump derangement syndrome know they have it?
You're an idiot.
And second question, did you steal Trump's haircut or did he steal yours? Cultural appropriation haircut right there. She didn't like that too much. Joy Reid, everybody. Trump derangement syndrome. Full swing. And then the team, Real America's Voice. Andrew Giuliani, we got Cassandra heading in. And my brother David Zier in the house.
Well, there's the good people. It's true. She did appropriate Trump's hair. And she's, for lack of better words, I'm not supposed to curse on this program, but Joy Reid's a bitch. And I'm going to leave it at that. It's my last and only curse word for the show. But I have, she's absolutely ridiculous. And she's got an ugly heart. Everyone's like, oh, you're racist. Nah, I just hate people who suck. And she's definitely one of them. I think it's actually funny, too, because speaking of Joe Biden, he's not doing so well. Christina Lila reported that Joe Biden's brain broke during a Philly rally held in the corner of a school gym. It turned out here that Joe Biden on Wednesday traveled to Girard College, an independent boarding school in Philadelphia, to pander to black voters since he is losing their support. President Trump is gaining ground with black voters. And as TGP's Kristen Taylor reported on Tuesday, according to Mark Mitchell with Rasmussen reports, Trump is leading Joe Biden among black voters in both head-to-head and five-way matchups. So let's talk about what Joe Biden's saying. Well, here's some gibberish, again, of him talking about absolutely nothing.
We'll never forget lying around and him lying around, actually.
This sounds like he's speaking in tongues. I'm not even making fun of that, okay? I think tongues is real. Some people think it's not real. It doesn't really matter, my religious beliefs. But I would say, whether you don't believe in tongues or you do believe in it, that guy's speaking in something, and it's definitely not English. So maybe we're all just being fooled by a manifestation. I don't know. Here's another mess up from the same event, though.
I promised we'd start to reconnect black and brown and overlooked neighborhoods cut off by highways in the 60s. And decades of disinvestment as a consequence of it, including here in Philly. Well, we're changed that with the Recovery Act. Right now, you see all the construction going on the highways around
here. Okay, he's not running the country. I'm leaving it at that. I want to know your thoughts and comments about what you think's going on with him there. And I just wanted to leave you with one story reminding you how bad things have gotten. Check this out. Shocking map reveals vast U.S. farmland owned by Chinese government. A recent map that has revealed that the alarming trend of Chinese Communist Party, the CCP, acquiring vast swaths of American farmland, raising serious national security concerns. Foreign ownership of U.S. agricultural land expanded to approximately 43.4 million acres in 2022, according to data from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. According to the USDA, Chinese investor ownership of U.S. agriculture land has skyrocketed from nearly 13,720 acres in 2010 to an astounding 346,915 acres by 2022 out of the 43 million acres. Chinese entities hold ownership of farmland across 29 of the 50 U.S. states. All right, not looking good. There's the map. China owns farmland. I love to know your feedback on these stories. Drop your comments down below. For the Gateway Pundits Week in Review, I'm Elijah Schaffer. Have a great rest of the week, and may God bless the United States of America. I'm signing out.